It's truly a blessing to view.
Yeah, I mean, if you bring up the graphic with the history of 720 poly shot, like his placement here, guaranteed a fifth, or he has a fifth placed finish, is far and away so much better than his most recent couple of placements. Like this has been an amazing run for 720 poly shot. That game 1 victory over Acno cannot be discounted. He looked incredibly strong, but unfortunately his run does stop here. We are going to now move up into the winner's bracket, where we will be catching Pavelski versus Simple. Pavelski had that hot upset over Acno, knocking him down into the lower bracket. Can he get a second upset in a row and beat out Simple here in the winner's final? We'll find out in just a little bit as we're getting into game 1 of Pavelski versus Simple.
Now, a win here for Pavelski wouldn't necessarily be the biggest upset of all time. Like, PR-wise, we're talking PR4 compared to Simple's PR3. So it wouldn't, I would say Acno was the really big upset. I wouldn't even necessarily consider this too big of an upset. Pavelski's Jae-Yun, man, is better than I would have expected and more consistent deeper in the bracket than I would have expected. I definitely underestimated his Jae-Yun going into this.
Yeah, I absolutely, like, when I think you're the one who told me that he was going to be coming in with the Jae-Yun, I was kind of disappointed, not just because he's not playing the Taros that I love to see, but just because it's something that I haven't seen from Pavelski. It wasn't the Lucian, it wasn't the Taros, but man, he's looking so clean with the Greatsword as he gets the pickup. Doesn't quite catch the dodge read, but he's still put out some good damage. Simple with the downlight side air, though. Could get the knockout soon.
Nice.
Yep.
Now, we talked about how clean Acno was playing earlier. I think Simple is possibly right up there in terms of cleanest players that EU has ever seen. Definitely in recent memory. Simple is a very technical player. His executions are tight, and I think he has a real chance. Even though he did just fall there, he has a real chance to go over Pavelski here. I would even favor him in this.
Yeah, I would definitely argue that this match is Simple favored for sure. Of course, just like in terms of raw numbers, Simple with the PR favoritism, but Pavelski looking really good. Simple able to fight back up onto the stage. Doesn't quite catch the dodge read. Pavelski can juggle for a moment just to prime a second greatsword. Simple gets in, but instead jumps away with a down air, expecting Pavelski to react. Yo. Didn't hit the side air. Oh, the side sig almost leads to the knockout. Pavelski gonna go for the dirtier greatsword, more likely to break.
Simple's going to be over onto the sword here against Pavelski's greatsword. Has the health disadvantage here, fighting into Pavelski. Pavelski's just going to straight back up.
Raw.
He straight up looked like the players that everybody complains about playing up against in ranked, as he just walks away, and then you throw out a move and he sigs and kills you.
He just punishes you, because I think usually when you're making that forward approach, you expect the other person to react, but Pavelski's like, nah, you're going to miss, and I'm just going to raw end sig in your face. Pavelski needs to widen this gap, though. Simple could get this knockout soon. We see him looking for those hits, looking for those recoveries as Pavelski.
Nice.
Not by the weapon toss, yeah.
That's that cleanliness that I'm talking about that Simple is able to throw out. That was a really good string from Pavelski, though. You saw him start it off with the dash D-Light. We've seen a lot, primarily sidelight initiations from several greatsword players here. I'm glad to see Pavelski using the dash D-Light to give you basically half of the stage here on Demon Island. If you go to somewhere like Brawlhalla, you're covering 2/3 of the stage.
Yeah, that dash D-Light has a lot of range on it, but it can be a little bit riskier, right? A little bit more recovery frames in comparison to the side light. Pavelski gets the 3, puts Simple off stage, but Simple with the weapon tosses. Side sig gets punished by Simple, and that's the stock. Simple takes game number 1.
Let's go. Oh, man, this set's going to be really good. This is going to be a fun set to watch. EU is bringing it in the end of this bracket here. I'm glad they're continuing the really good sets that we've seen today.
Yeah, this is, like you said, some really good Brawlhalla. And where else would you expect it but here at BCX in EU, of course. But here we're going into game number 2. Pavelski versus Simple. Simple with a nice start, getting the unarmed damage onto Pavelski.
Finding some weapon damage too, even grabbing the second weapon. Already has Pavelski in the yellow. We're only about 10 seconds into the game, and that's 50 plus damage. 1 or 2 more hits, Pavelski's going to be in the orange. Weapon toss goes in. See Pavelski continuing to back up. Oh, whiffs the D-Light and still gets another D-Light out.
Dare weapon toss comes out from Pavelski. Off stage in the gray. Does get the wall touch just barely, and he's still fighting it out against Simple. Outspaces the side signature, going to get the regular sword punish.
Oh man, that recovery has Pavelski already in the red. Still is able to pick up that greatsword. The recovery takes him off the top. Simple getting a 47-second KO and having a giant lead onto Pavelski.
He's really starting to run away with this one. Again, though, it's greatsword coming out from Pavelski. A good dodge read or two. Good lead to the knockout, and there it is already. One dodge read is all he needed, and he went for the sidelight finisher. It's something Flambeau was talking about earlier, going for the sidelight finisher over the neutral light finisher because it's got more horizontal range, or force.
And that soft platform from Mammoth Fortress was helping him out, allowing him to extend that string past the normal stage onto that platform to get him over. If that platform wasn't there, he wouldn't have really been able to continue that further. You would have seen him maybe go for the ground pound deep in the push-off column or the side air deep in the push-off column that he was doing previously.
And this is suddenly swung in Pavelski's favor. Oh! What? Last time he did that, he did a weapon toss into a side air. This time he mixes it up, goes for a GC side light finisher, and Pavelski is stealing stocks from Simple.
Seeing all those moves coming out, Pavelski has a ton of pressure onto Simple right now. Definitely overwhelming him with all of the moves that he's throwing out. There's 3. Oh, and the weapon toss. That is going to be a rough game from Simple that he's going to want to wash his hands of. Less than 300 damage from him, but all it took from Pavelski was 388 damage.
That's so insane how low that damage was. Like, it didn't feel like it was one of those like super gimp heavy games, but it's going to be Simple being forced off of the Jaeyun over to the Taros for game number 3. This is something that I talked to you about in DMs, is that fear that if Simple loses in the Jaeyun mirror, I was expecting Akno in this matchup, but if he loses game 1, he's going to immediately make the swap, and that's kind of what we're seeing here, is he lost one game in the Jaeyun mirror, and he's like, all right, over to the Taros.
So the crazy thing with the damage last game of 388 compared to 291 is Pavelski only put out 97 more damage, and yet he took 2 more stocks than Simple was able to. So with that short little amount of damage in that very short game, Pavelski completely demolished Simple's Jaeyun.
I told you, he is a thief in the night. He was stealing stocks, but stealing the weapon away from Simple, going over to the greatsword as Simple looking for the weapon spawn. It's going to be on the soft platform. Pavelski able to punish the pickup and utilizing the soft platform for the end sig at a higher height. This is the side sig.
Oh no! This is looking tough for Simple. He's not able to get in on greatsword at all that Pavelski's using. That's something he struggled with against Akno previously in Mammoth Cup.
Into the offstage though, Pavelski really taking his time here, did not connect with the recovery and misses the weapon toss, so Simple able to get some good damage here. Could see the knockout soon with this hammer. Stop side air off that soft platform.
You know he wanted that recovery to hit on the bottom side and send down.
Stomp side air over to the left side, still not enough.
There you go. You mentioned that classic. Oh, he gets the D-Sig for the kill, but you mentioned the classic hammer recovery edge guard earlier, and you said Simple does it. He just tried to do it right there.
That's what we're expecting from this hammer play. But he's able to even up the stock count. Pavelski doesn't have the greatsword, that blender tool, to get so much quick damage. And Simple's going to jump over the pocket sand, still getting more damage with this hammer.
Ooh. still able to pick up with that recovery. So Simple, when he plays up against Greatsword, he has to be very careful when he chooses to go in and punish. But when he's playing against Pavelski's sword, he has a little bit more leeway on the pressure he wants to exert. He can be a little bit more overwhelming there. He can push it a little bit harder than he does when he's playing against the Greatsword. The recovery almost knocking out off the top. Simple now dead even, but the GC sidelight seems to be a favorite of Pavelski, and he gets the KO off the bottom.
The down signature. We've seen him pivot that down signature on the corner time and time again. That's the first time he actually held it and slide charged it to get the stock. Still in the red, though. Simple still has the opportunity to even this up. Got a soft hit on the axe recovery, though.
Oh, Weapon Spawn's going to come in right on top of Pavelski. He's going to pick up his sword, throw it away, grab the Greatsword. Another Weapon Spawn comes in all the way on the left, but he's able to grab a hammer here. Almost picks up the side air, but Pavelski was right below him.
Side air. That will even it up. The juggle. Looks like Simple wants to lean more onto this hammer for this matchup.
Oh, nice three-piece. Goes for the stomp. Oh! The GC sidelight again from Pavelski.
Wake up. Three-piece into the side finisher. Not quite enough damage to send Simple flying too far. Opportunity here. Simple does not find the recovery hit. Pavelski, he just keeps canceling. Side cancel, turn. He is just putting so much hitbox.
Oh no.
Underneath.
Oh! And again, swapping back over to the Greatsword. Simple finds a falling neutral air. That Greatsword was so damaged that it ended up being taken away from Pavelski. GC D-Light!
This is Pavelski playing with his food a little bit. He's going for some nutty options, and it's the down finisher off the GC, and Pavelski gets it to swing backwards to lead to the knockout, and he retaunts as well. Man, Pavelski, like he's having fun.
That was so close, too. That side air probably would have KO'd. We're going to get to see the replay here. Oh, he spot dodged it, and that got through the side air, and out came the D-Light. That is that down finisher from Greatsword. That is a rough spot to be in. Simple almost taking that game. He's going to stay with the Taros here. He's not going to get first weapon, and first weapon is going to be a Greatsword for Pavelski. It's not what he wants. Out comes the stomp sidelight. Doesn't find the neutral light, or at least the first hit of it. The second hit of it does clash out.
Pavelski is swinging. He's shown the speed of his high-power blender. Over to the sword now. You saw that kind of awkward dodge. I think he was trying to do a down signature, like either slide charge it or a GC. Just didn't quite get the input, but he's still getting good damage. Has the juggles, and Simple disarms himself with that hammer toss.
Little sidelight's going to put Pavelski over onto the wall. The spawn comes in. He's able to grab the axe. Whoa! Oh, doesn't quite have enough active frames to get the KO on that recovery. Pavelski with the strange wake-up options. Oh, no. It's like he turned that recovery around, and that stopped him from picking it up. The neutral sit comes out from Pavelski, and he gets the first KO.
Oh, but Simple immediate response. Stott gets the side heavy. Gonna just throw away the axe. He wants to play this hammer. And it's not even like he's going for anything like Taros Sig heavy. He got like a down sig to knock out, but for the most part, it's just like hammer with Taros' stat line.
And Pavelski, in like true Kosalik style, is able to almost guarantee this Greatsword any time he wants. It's like, I'm not able to keep track of it. Like, every time he picks up a new weapon, I'm like, again? He has another Greatsword? Again? Where's the sword? I swear I haven't seen it at all.
He's so quick about it. What? Does get stuck on this one. Still able to pick up the Greatsword. Simple in the offstage, but the recovery from Pavelski going to get him back up onto the stage where the Vortex can continue onto Simple. Punish.
Oh, God. Simple. What are you going for there, dog? You got to be more careful.
A little bit of farm betting there, but Pavelski able to pick up the clean Greatsword, and again, back into it. You see the way he's able to just completely dash, pivot, turn around, keep canceling and keeping this pressure going. Goes in unarmed onto a hammer. He's insane! The madman! And Simple can't get back!
No. That is going to be the set. Pavelski is going to take it. That is insane. Pavelski keeping this run up. He's moving on into grand finals. Guaranteed top 2 from Pavelski. And Simple is going down into the losers bracket.
I'm going to be real. A little bit fanboy right now. I didn't want to put Pavelski in my top 2 because it's Pavelski and he is the most volatile player out there. But oh my goodness, Pavelski looking so incredibly good. He's guaranteed a top 2 finish like you said. And I don't know who's going to be able to stop him from running it and get in the World Championship.